Hello beautiful people, and first of all I want to thank you all for 50,000 subscribers. That's an amazing thing that happened, and if you take a look at it, it's almost a small town that is watching these videos regularly and awakening to their true potential. So once again, thank you all for being here, for meditating and for realizing who you really are and discarding the false personality and ego. Let's get back to today's video. Lately on my channel there was a lot of questions about what are we going to do after we realize that we are awareness, that we can observe our thoughts and world around us. Most of the people, for some reason, thinks if they suddenly start to realize who they are, they will abandon their whole life. They will not be themselves anymore, and they are afraid of that. So now, let us inquire today together and see what is really happening here. You have realized and seen that you are not your ego. You are not your personality. You have seen that amazing thing, your ability to perceive a thought. Therefore, you now know, you now have experienced, and also you have a complete insight in this, that you are not your thought. You don't have to be that which your thought saying to you. You don't have to obey it. You can observe it and let it go. So naturally there comes question, what should I do now? I am aware. I can see all the thoughts, good ones and the bad ones, and I don't have to choose anymore. What was the life that we led before? So if you take yourself, for example, and observe your life and your relationships before, what was your life? You were living in a small experience. Only that memory which your brain has collected through the time was being stored in your brain, and also the memory of your ancestors that you inherit with this old brain. This brain is old few millions of years and it contains memory. So this brain collects new information, store it and use it for future. So naturally it arises more and more thoughts. These thoughts are believed that we are them. So we start to compulsively thinking. We are thinking about everything and anything all the time. There is not a second of a silence inside your head. Being present, in presence, observing what is really happening. There is always thinking, thinking, thinking. And with this thinking, brain always says something. Let's do this, I will do this. I'm bored, let's something do very interesting. Or sometimes it has a bad thoughts. Really, really bad ones. You became depressed. Your brain is feeding you lies for years. And you start to think deeply, profoundly that you are really bad as your brain has told you, your mind has told you. But in reality, that couldn't be far from the truth. So your brain has become constantly active, but in a bad way, because it wears itself out. it constantly turn around the same information from the past, now, and discussing what will happen in the future. It is never really here, present, to see what is really happening. So this brain becomes tired, dull, mechanical. It cannot see what is really needed to do. It's constantly confused because it has so many thoughts. It doesn't know what has to do. Only confused mind or brain has to choose. So you don't have to choose if you are not confused. You know what you have to do. You know what you need to do. You know what you need. Only a confused mind is faced with a constant choosing. And that is really destroying your brain, because all the time he thinks, or she or it, what to choose. And there's also duality, constant thinking between good and bad. Is this what I'm doing good or bad? There is no compassion and there is no love. How can it be love in a brain that's completely obsessed with thinking, that only thinks what love is, never feeling it, never being the love? So, for all your life, and mine also, all of us, we have been living this confused brain. Now, suddenly, you don't have to be in that state anymore. You can be aware of your thoughts, observe them, stay with them, with that observation. In that observation, your thoughts are passing by or melting down, whatever you want to see it or call it. And in that complete attention, you are bringing yourself in a present moment, in a presence, which is not the quality of a time. It is simply being aware completely of everything around you, and you delete that distance between you and the world. You became the world, and world's you. So, with this kind of brain and mind that is not rooted in time, because it is in a presence, you are able to see what is needed to be done. Your brain doesn't wear itself anymore. It became extraordinarily alive, extraordinarily present. It sees everything that is needed to be done and when it's needed to be done. So this kind of brain, it's not anymore obsessed with everything that he has to choose. It knows what is needed to be done. Being aware of your thoughts and your surrounding doesn't mean that you became lazy and you just sit in one place and meditate. In reality, it means that you now have a responsibility. Now, people think that responsibility is tied to the person, but it's not. The responsibility is same as the compassion, same as love. The brain that has cultivated compassion, love, and responsibility knows what is needed to be done to help someone when the help is needed. It knows it cannot abandon his family. He is there to continue what he was doing before, but in much deeper sense. So your life may completely change in the opposite direction. You may quit the old job. You may stay in that job, but you will do that because you know and see that it is the right thing to do. You will have an insight, not knowledge, because knowledge is always limited. No matter how much you gather it, it is based in time and it's limited. As opposed to insight. Insight doesn't need a thought. It doesn't need to think. It is here completely and sees what is. And that is complete. There is no need for knowledge when there is an insight, because it is complete. There is no need to choose. As always, try this for yourself. Be aware of everything, of your surrounding, of your life, of your relationship with other people. Ask yourself, what is my relationship with this human being, with this animal, with this world around me? And observe. See the truth. And in that, you will see and confirm everything that we are inquiring here. It's not needed for you to trust, to believe, because you will have an insight of what really is. So do not be afraid, because fear is also coming from a confused brain. A free brain, a free mind doesn't have psychological fear. Thank you for watching this video. Please do it by yourself. And until next time, infinite love to all of you.